It knocked the snow off, but it wasn't sufficient to cause damage to his vehicle.
This channel is on enough for.
We then mapped that data onto Miss Reed's vehicle to look at where that height is. So you can see the only contact marks are down at the bumper level. I mentioned how that bumper sticks out. This is exactly where you'd expect. So the only evidence of contact is nowhere near the upper taillight. I emphasize the word upper taillight because it is right in line with the lower taillight. But yet the lower taillight also was not broken.
Interesting.
So again, 25 and a half, that's 24 right here, 25 and a half. That's 24 right here, 25, 25 and a half. That's right where that
26 and a
scuff
half.
mark was. It's also right at, again, the level at the top of that light. This light is not broken. I've looked at the front of it. I've looked at the back of it.
What the hell? I pressed something, not even the shit
and it sticks
happens.
out further.
Just give me
than the light
fucking
bulb.
light. That's it.
So using those positions,
Sorry,
matching the
guys,
overlay
but-
of the vehicles, we can get the speeds from that. We know where the Lexus is.
Sorry,
we know
guys.
how
I'll
much
be
time
back
it is
in a
between
second.
each frame, so we know how far it moved. And so what we know is that when it first came to a stop, right before
Just
that, it was
texting.
going about 0.7 miles per hour. So realistically, somewhere between a half to 1 mile an hour, just to account for some variations, but definitely going 1 mile an hour or less at impact.
Slide over, please.
Oh, thank you, Norman.
I'm
Sorry,
back,
now you-
guys.
One Matters, I saw the email. Yes, One Matters. How you doing,
You
bro?
want water? Stupid me.
That's the dimensions. Slide 102. Similar to what I said, no damage to that light.
No
No
damage
damage.
to my brain.
Mr.
That's what
O'Keefe's
it is.
traverse in that area. And then if I could, I would like to go back because I realized I skipped over something.
Lonely brain. Lonely brain.
So this is slide 85. So this is Mr. O'Keefe's vehicle before contact.
Lonely brain. Lonely brain. How you doing? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hi. Don't forget to like though, because that was the algorithm. Once it hits the hour again, I'll restart. No, if it's only one person.
I don't know what I'm missing.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I always restart every hour if it's only 1, 2 people. It helps more. It helps bring more people in.
This slide shows that there was snow here, now there's no snow.
So please understand that.
Dr. Walter, did you look on the driveway after the touching between the two cars to see if
I
you
did
could see
send you a
anything
text. You didn't
on
get
the
it?
snow at the back of Mr. O'Keefe's vehicle?
So referring to this slide,
I said, hi, how you doing?
this is after the Lexus has pulled away. Looking in the snow, I see nothing in the snow.
Were you
I
looking
said,
for
how
anything in
you
particular?
doing?
Of course I was. I was looking for taillight fragments.
In any of the videos that you have that show Mr. O'Keefe's vehicle after the defendant's Lexus touches it, do you ever see any remnants or shards or fragments of
That's the
taillight on the ground?
I do not.
When you did your analysis and study, trying to include or exclude this touching as the source of damage,
Text me again?
the defendant's Lexus rear right
Oh
taillight,
boy, I gotta go.
did you
TikTok
consider
again.
speed as part of that analysis?
I did.
Did
I
you?
consider speed, and then again, knowing we have the positions of the vehicle, we looked at the degree of overlap, and there's only about 2 to 3 millimeters of overlap between the vehicles,
Let's
which is
see.
insufficient to cause the tail light
I see you.
that's recessed in from the edge on the right rear of the Lexus to
Leave the
contact
messages.
the rear of the Chevrolet.
It says, hey, it's me,
Considering
your
all the
girlfriend,
data
kinda.
analysis,
I
you
am
didn't
watching
come
your
to a
video on
conclusion for
YouTube.
reasonable
Love
degree
you
of
so
engineering
much.
certainty
I wish I
whether
could be
the
there
right
with you,
rear
baby. Love
taillight
you.
of Ms. Reed's
And I
Lexus
accept that. I said,
broken or
hi,
damaged
how are you
during
doing?
the contact
I am
with Mr.
good.
O'Keefe's
Love you,
car
baby.
at around 5:07 a.m. on January 29, 2022.
That impact did not break or crack that tail light.
Is that your opinion?
That's my
Well, I
opinion.
saw
Is that
it
your
now.
reasonable degree of engineering certainty?
That was you?
That's still a high degree of engineering certainty.
You mentioned there were 3 areas of study, and we've been through 2.
Correct.
Could you
That's
tell us what you
cool.
focused on your 3rd area of study regarding this case?
So the third area of study, I'm now focusing in on the injuries, the at-scene physical evidence, taillight fragments, broken glass, things of that nature.
Okay, and when you conducted your studies and reached conclusions, did you, in your PowerPoint,
I
provide
just
slides
text-
to help explain?
I just
your
texted you
process and
again.
inevitably your conclusions?
Yes, sir.
So you can take us through the 3rd section of your efforts regarding this case, specifically your efforts to identify the different pieces of evidence and your conclusions about a collision in this case.
Absolutely. Slide 104.
Please.
So this is a,
Is this 105, Dr. Welcher?
I'm sorry, 105. Yes, sorry. Well, slide
I have a
105.
lot of people here, so
This
I
is a
gotta
picture
delete
of
them.
Mr. O'Keefe's right arm, forearm, hand, and wrist. In anatomy, your arm is defined from your shoulder to your elbow,
But you could talk here
And then
now
from your
because
elbow to your
nobody
wrist is
sees
your
you
forearm.
and me.
and then this is your hand. So technically, when you say arm, it really means from your elbow to your shoulder. Most people call this whole thing arm. It's actually the upper extremity. Arm is from shoulder to elbow.
This is another
elbow to wrist
person who
is
came here,
forearm
but I don't know
and
who
hand.
is. Then
So you can see
and
I
they're
wrote
not
arm
talking
and
right now.
forearm.
So
So arm, elbow to shoulder, elbow to wrist is forearm. So looking at the injuries to Mr. O'Keefe's arm, forearm, as well as his
she's
hand.
doing true crime right now. There's a
So,
lady that she
this
was
is me.
found. She was
I'm
not
actually,
acquitted,
16
but
half an inch tall. What you see in the upper right is
hung
the
jury.
coroner's examination report for Mr. O'Keefe.
Her name
He's
is
73
Karen
inches
Reed
tall.
out of
That's 6 feet 1 inches tall.
what
At this
state
time,
is
I was
that?
220 pounds. Mr. O'Keefe at the time of this incident was
Massachusetts.
216 pounds. So I took measurements of myself. I'm actually wearing the same make and size shoes as Mr. O'Keefe, the same brand of jeans as Mr. O'Keefe, the same brand and size shirt of Mr. O'Keefe. You see the Lexus in the background. We have matched the height to the Lexus. What I'm showing here is both my height, and then keep in mind where the height of this wing is relative to my right eye. So now I'm wearing, in addition, the same shirt and shoes, same type of sweatshirt, and actually the same kind of baseball hat.
Baseball
We
hat.
tried to determine the exact glass from the waterfall grill. Found out they were getting different ones at different times, but I ordered my glass from the same distributor that Waterfall Grill ordered their glasses from. So you can see in my right hand here, I have a glass.
I'm still
Here's a
here.
glass. It looks similar. It's from the same location. And then in the lower right photograph, what I've done is I've rolled up my sleeve, taken the sweatshirt off, and I'm going to look at how this contact pattern
Yeah, I
lines
see
up.
it. It says your
So
day.
the first set of slides, I'm simply standing next to the Lexus. We know we have a broken taillight. We know how scratches on Mr. O'Keefe's arm. I'm seeing how those may or may not relate to the height and position of the taillight.
Dr. Welcher, if you could back up one
Yeah,
slide. I have a
yeah.
question
Y'all
for you. In the
fucking
middle
liars.
photograph,
I don't
at
believe
the
you.
top of the
Y'all
Lexus,
fucking try to set up that
what do you
lady.
call that?
I call it a wind wing. I mean, it could be a wing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got your text.
Air dam would be another.
I don't like people being set up for murder.
Okay, so
I just found out who your
I then
ex
set
is
about to do a
dating.
little bit of testing.
Well, I went to his mom's Facebook.
The first test you're going to see is
Yeah, I got
me
your text. Thank you.
walking backwards or actually sideways into the Lexus. What I've done is I've painted the Lexus right rear tail light with what's called grease paint, kind of sort of like paint, but it doesn't dry. And then I have backed up sideways, side shuffled into the Lexus with my arm out, see what the damage pattern looks like, or basically where someone of Mr. O'Keefe's height's arm would contact the rear tail light. So then what you see is I've shown the photographs again. I show
what you
the
see,
paint
what you
transfer
get.
onto my arm. The yellow grease paint on my hand was to show where my hand would hit the tail light. And so just kind of me walking slowly sideways into it, the approximate location of the tail light, and I'll line it up with the broken tail light in a second, lines up with the approximate location of the lacerations on Mr. O'Keefe's arm.
Dr. Welcher, let me ask you a question. When you're engaging in these demonstrations, are you attempting to try to show exactly how Mr. O'Keefe was struck?
No. So we don't know exactly how he was struck. And pedestrian impacts are extremely sensitive to exact angles. And so where exactly your foot is, whether your foot's off the ground, can have an effect on where you end up after that. We just
Listen
don't
to
have
this
enough
case.
information
This
in
case
this
is
case
kind
to
of
determine all that
strange.
information. We know the taillight was broken. We know the glass was broken. We know we have damage to the rear of the Lexus. We know we have lacerations in Mr. O'Keefe's arm. So I'm trying to see if there's any correlation between all those.
Well, can body posture on a clip or a side slight collision change the trajectory or the injury?
Of course.
Can the way somebody moves or reacts before impact change it?
Sustain.
What are other things that can
Now
change
she wants to say
the trajectory
sustain.
of the person and the
Before
injury?
she was saying out
So for
loud,
example, if you
stupid
get
judge.
hit and knocked off balance or clipped and knocked off balance, you can take additional steps. That'll affect how far your body travels. If you have one foot on the ground versus the other foot on the ground, affects how the body
Oh,
rotates.
my hands.
If your
fall
arm is at
asleep. I
90
hate that
degrees
shit.
or 85 degrees, will affect the kinematics. We attempted to model different possibilities, and we're getting results that were all over the map. Small changes in the pedestrian position give you huge change in the output. And so from the tech stream data, we don't know exactly when in the tech stream data he was hit. So we don't even know the exact impact speed.
Stupid.
In most pedestrian reconstructions, you typically have a point where the impact occurred, like where the person was, like in the crosswalk, for example, and they get hit.
I don't know
and their
if I
tire
should
leaves a
end
rubber
the stream,
stump.
come back
That's
later,
called the
like
area
at
of
3,
impact or
4 in
point
the
of impact.
morning. I'm not sure
then
because
can look at how
nobody
far
here.
they
There's
were
only one
thrown.
person.
And use some laws of physics, calculate how fast the car had to be going. Well, we don't have that in this case. We don't know exactly where Mr. O'Keefe was on the roadway when this happened. Sorry, I'm about to go to the next slide.
Without having an exact point of impact or an exact speed or an exact body position, are you able to specifically replicate the actual collision in the way?
I'm gonna text you on
Mr. O'Keefe's
TikTok,
body
all
would
right?
move?
Exactly.
Because there's
replicate?
nobody
No.
here. I'm
And
getting
again,
bored.
in terms of how he would move, again, we don't know where exactly on the roadway he started. So in terms of how he moved, that's a function of where he
This
started.
person is just
We don't know if when he was clipped, he took an additional step before falling backwards. So that will change how far you are
talking
off the
about the
roadway.
case I'm watching. I'll talk to
So
you on TikTok,
The
all right?
impact, which you'll see in a second, even at 2 miles an hour.
Because I don't
will
like
induce
being
rotation
here.
of the body.
I might come back
So,
later
Depending
when
on
this
the
guy's
speed,
done
the higher the
live
speed, the more
streaming.
rotation.
All right.
So
Bye.
if I may. So slide 111, this is simply showing where I walk sideways